day everyone, I'm Stephanie Mapa and we are group 2 and here our activity 1 which is writing an action research plan. And here are our members, Miss April May Alejos, Miss Sunshine Arboleda, Miss Leia Limbibal, Miss Aiza Midel, and Miss Novi Militar. Intended learning outcomes. At the end of this learning activity, the FS student should be able to recall the different parts of an action research plan, prepare and write an action research plan, submit the proposed action research plan. Below are the parts of an action research. Prepare your research plan by describing what you will do to come up with an excellent classroom-based action research. Situation. Based on our previous class observation in our FS1, we will choose and limit our study to one class with different characteristics and recall the perceived problem or challenges they encountered. From those challenges, we will choose one that needs immediate attention or a solution. The chosen scenario will serve as our starting point in writing a classroom-based action research. Preliminaries. Approval sheet. To start defending our research, we will construct an authorization from which committee members, including the committee chair, team members, and a college administrator. Acknowledgement. We will make an acknowledgement. We will simply express our gratitude to those people who will help us to complete our research. Table of contents. We will make a table of contents for our research paper, in which we will put the titles or chapter in chronological order. Abstract. We will write a brief summary of our research that includes the introduction, body, and conclusion of our study. Background of our study. We will include a review of research area, current information about the issue, previous studies on the issue, and relevant history about the issue. Significance of study. We will explain why our research was necessary, if it is just a justification of the significance of our work, and the impact it has on the research field. It is a contribution to a new knowledge and it will benefit others. Second part is problem identification. Possible causes. We will introduce the problems or challenges that will be addressed in our research study. Hypothesis. Again, we will state our study assumption, what will be tested and what the values will be. Third part is generation of alternative solution. We will state here the possible or potential solution to our study problem. Fourth part is the plan of action. Objectives. We will explain what our study main focus and goal are in this section. Time frame. We will state here when our study began and when it will end. Target participant. We will explain who our participant and who our study respondent are in this section. Fifth part is presentation and interpretation of data. We will present and interpret the data using the methods we use to present the outcomes or findings from the data that we gather and examine. Sixth part is findings, conclusions, recommendation. We will use tables, graphs, and charts to logically present the findings out of our research. Here, we will present an overview of our research study and a brief explanation of the outcomes. We will provide advice or suggested actions to take in the recommendation for particularly circumstances. 7-part bibliography. For our sources, we use books. Those details include the title, author or editor, publisher, and the year of the current edition was published or acquired copyright. Appendices in order to understand the points in our research and to support the findings or facts. We will utilize this to provide the process data that will be gathered during our research. Curriculum vitae. In this statement, we will describe our educational background, biographical data, and research-related experience. Analysis. Rate the following part based on the degree of difficulty you encountered in describing your plan. 1. Not difficult. 2. Fairly difficult. 3. Moderately difficult. 4. Very difficult. 5. Extremely difficult. Put a check mark on the appropriate column that corresponded to your answer. Based on our encountered, the situation not difficult. Preliminaries is moderately difficult. Introduction is very difficult. Problem identification, moderately difficult. Generation of alternative solution is moderately difficult. The plan of action is very difficult. Presentation and interpretation of data, moderately difficult. Findings, conclusion, recommendation, fairly difficult. Reflections, moderately difficult. Part 1. Introduction, background of study. School is important for all growing children to attend in order to learn tasks and information used throughout life. Students learn academics, social skills, and life skills, which include coping. When a student absenteeism becomes a habit, it starts to affect this aspect taught in schools and needed in life. In schools, absenteeism is a major concern, particularly among middle school and high school students. Absenteeism has a negative impact on student lives and habits as a whole, not only on their performance in school. In order for educators to find a strategy to enroll students in school and teach them the skills they need to succeed in life. More research required on this subject. Students that are very interested in have sufficient support system. They are confident in themselves at school and feel that they are higher tendency to regularly attend school. School monitoring of chronic absenteeism must be a priority. By creating a culture that is constructive and encouraging student involvement in the school mission. Chronic absenteeism has an effect on students. To achieve success, school must be ready to deliver specialized and original assistance to get back to attendance goals for the student educational objectives. Missing several days at work in a row is chronic absenteeism. 10% or more days are spent in school each year, and all types of absence are included, suspension without reasons. Around 7.5 million students nationally miss almost a month of school per year. Completing 1 month of education per year, learning time wasted of over 135 million days. According to Shang, Strong, Eduardo, and Olsen, 2012. Researchers discovered that being absent from school frequently increases students' chance of failing to graduate from high school or not being able to read by the end of third grade effectively, according to Shang and Jordan, year 2017. Significance of study. The significance of study will benefit and will help of the following. First is student. The result of study will provide essential insight to attend in schools every day. Second is teachers. This study will help teachers to decrease students' absenteeism. Third is parents. This study will provide to encourage their child in going to school. And last is future researchers. This study will help the future researcher as the basis of their study and additional information for their future study. Part 2. Problem identification. The types of problems we may need to solve in our action research are identified through research problem. Through observation of the situation in a classroom setting, we pinpoint the issues and their causes in order to develop both the alternative and null hypothesis, which serve as a guide in deciding if there is or none a significant difference in our action research. We discuss the post and pre-academic performance of learners. We make sure the issue is relevant in the present learning settings when we find a problem. To assess and identify the situation or issue that has to be handled by all internal and external parties in education, our group has conducted group discussion. Hypothesis. The main questions we will be exploring is what factors can be changed in school settings in order to help increase students' attendance. Within this topic, we will also be exploring the answers to would a reward system help increase student attendance? Examples is lunch privilege, extra free time, activity enjoyed by students, and etc. Do you designated homework work periods help make schools less stressful, therefore increasing attendance? We believe having an extra period provided at the end of the day would greatly benefit to the student academically and decrease the stress, making their motivation to attend school increase. A reward system will also help with them motivation to come to school, with both an extra help period after school and the reward system in place. Student average attendance will increase. Statement of the problem. Number 1 is, what is the profile of the respondent according to A is age, B gender. Number 2, how many of grade 6 pupils has more absent last year. Number 3, what are the factors of absenteeism to their academic performance? Number 4, what are the causes of absenteeism in grade 6 pupils? Part 3, generation of alternative solutions. Individual and systematic treatments can both be used to improve absenteeism. Understanding the difficulties students face when attending school is one technique a school or institution can use. These difficulties could include a lack of transportation, good communication protocols for attending regulations, a lack of child care options for children who are not attending school, a lack of linguistic knowledge, and others. This might be achieved through unauthorized gatherings at the local community systems, library or schools, house visits, or by surveys. Part 4, the plan of action. The goal of the action research proposal is to identify strategies that will encourage students to attend class every day. Barring valid excuses, at most one school day each month should be missed by the student. According to the goal, which is about 20 actual school days, generally, the goal of this action study research is to develop characteristics that can reduce student absenteeism so that students can develop coping skills for challenging situations they may encounter in life. We believe that optimistic is the greatest word to use to describe our experience completing our FS activity because despite the challenges we face while completing the action research plan, we think positively, hopeful, and certain that we can complete it effectively. We think that cooperating with one another will be essential to the success of our action research plan.